Hello, everybody out there. Day finale here was for episode 2 of Real Estate Talk TGIF, and thank God it's finale. How about that, right? So we're sitting here today. We're going to talk about something that really is near and dear to my heart. Sorry about the lighting, but we wanted to get the view behind us, which is really cool. It's the skyline of Manhattan, where we work out of in Edgewater, New Jersey. But I wanted to talk about today something that's really, really important to anybody in the sales business and anybody in any business. And you know what? The best example we can use, I'm going to give you 2 quick examples of why it's so important. It's the word practice. And I know that practice, along with the word work, can be a dirty word, right? So let's talk about football, right? So those of you who are listening to me, and some of you are Philadelphia Eagles fans, so if you remember that play in the Super Bowl last year where Foles was the receiver of a touchdown pass, right? So I recently saw a video that talked all about, how that play went and why they decided to do it. There was no thought about it. Foles went back to the coach and said, hey, we're going to do this. And the coach said, go ahead, do it. They had the right personnel on the field. They go out there. He goes into the huddle and says, we're going to do this play. He doesn't explain it. He doesn't say, I'm standing here. He doesn't say, I'm standing there. You're going to stand over here. You're going to do that. He doesn't explain it at all. You see, everybody in the NFL that plays for a team, they have a playbook, and they have these plays there. And one of the things they do during the week before the game is that they practice. Real estate professionals do practice. Real estate agents do not practice. They go out there like, okay, they're in the show. They're playing this football game without practicing. How would that have happened? Would the Philadelphia Eagles still won the Super Bowl if they didn't practice that play? If they knew the play and what they thought they should be doing, would that play have been as effective, like score a touchdown so they could win the Super Bowl, the World Championship? I don't think so. And the biggest problem we have today is that it's been forever in our business, in the real estate business, is where agents don't practice their craft to get better at their skills. I'm going to give you one other example. And that's, of course, from my great team called the New York Yankees, and that of a great player who will be first ballot Hall of Famer soon, Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter, in his first year of professional baseball, I believe made 52 errors, 52 or 56, not sure of the number. He was very upset. He wanted to quit. But what did he do? He practiced. He practiced. He practiced. He practiced. You see, spring training is just practicing getting back into it, but they practice every day. It's just like the Eagles practiced the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, and they had reached the ultimate game of the year. But Jeter practiced so much that he became one of the best, in my opinion, the best shortstop of all time of Major League Baseball, and he had 3,000 hits because he practiced, he practiced, and practiced. His first game, he hit a home run. His first game, he made a great defensive play. That didn't come by him saying, yep, I was their #1 pick and a first-round pick, and I'm going to rest on that. No, he practiced. I'm sitting here today with a guy who is the epitome of practice in real estate, Mike Personnette. Mike and I met a number of years ago when I was still a broker owner of another company, and Mike is with Group 26 Real Estate as I am. And one of the things that's impressed me about Mike all along was that once in a while I would hear him talk about what he's going to say to a customer, what he's going to say on a cold call, what he's going to say on the phone. Why are you able to shoot something out just off the top of your head with whatever the subject is? Why are you able to do that?
It comes down to practice. It really does. At the end of the day, what we do is a system. It all has to be a skill, a craft that we've mastered over time. To get good at a craft, you have to practice. If you like to play the guitar, are you going to get good just by playing 1 hour a week? Or would you get better by playing 10 minutes each day for the same hour? We got to take that same concept. And that's what we're missing at. A lot of the real estate industry, we have all these options to be pulled around with. But the main focus, at least that I believe in, is that what people are looking for is the skill to get the job done, and that's through practice, the repetition of knowing what to say, to gauge motivation, to gauge qualification, and through that, that's what we're getting more deals done, more listings, and that's how we're helping more people So they realize that through the practice that they put in will actually help them do more.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, so as you started in your real estate career, of course you started coaching with Mike Ferry, right?
Yeah.
Is that the guy that taught you how to practice?
You know, fundamentally, it's just another piece of the puzzle. You know, most guys are athletes. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be a mental athlete. There's a lot of computer guys out there. There's chess players. There's all different types of sports. But at the end of the day, it's in common with one similar goal. You have to practice your skill, right? If you were a doctor, you went to law school or you went to medical school 20 years from start, when you were probably thinking of since you were 10 years old, you're going to be a doctor in the medical field and to grow the biology. That's 20 years of practice. If you're going to go become a lawyer, it's another 5 years of practice after. You know, if you're going to be a real estate agent, it's just 3 weeks. There's no practice.
You know, as an aside, I always wondered why doctors and dentists call it that they practice medicine. I don't get it. They're still practicing. When are they going to do it for real? I don't know. Just a little joke. I hope you got that. All right. So one of the things you've done is that you've practiced a lot. You're able to work on your scripts. Is it true, Mike, that when you're practicing and you get on the phone with someone or you're in a dialogue with someone, whether it's in person or not, that this stuff, just because of your practicing, it comes right off the top of your head? You don't even think about it?
Right off the top of the head. You know, and that's something through there's a fight, right? There's a big fight that people say in sales. Why am I going to learn a script? Why do I want to have a trainer tell me what to say? Why do I want to be candid on a presentation? The goal of any business is to help someone accomplish their goal. If we don't have a system in place, that system is a script. That system is having the tools in place to get them to the finish line. Either you have a script or you have a script, it's just your own script. You follow the same procedure every day, starting in the morning with how you wake up, or it really starts on how your day ends and what you're doing before you go to bed. That is a script. The scripted day on how you end. Are you watching TV and the news before you go to bed, or are you reading some positive information? You know, that is a routine, that is a script. For notes and how the way we talk on dialogues, I'm pretty sure if you talk to someone, he's going to want to get down to the fundamentals of what they need. We don't need it to be candid. We need them to be emotional and help them, but understanding that we have a job. Bedrooms, baths, needs, price point, all of that together.
Right. So you do this by using your scripts and getting the information out. And the main reason that you're able to do this is practice. I told a story earlier today about I was having a meeting with an agent a year or so ago, and all of a sudden something came out of my mouth that was really, I thought it was really good. I mean, I actually stopped for a second and thought before I continued my conversation with the agent, thought, oh, that sounded really good. And then I realized the stuff that I had practiced, the stuff that I had worked on, and some you know, from coaches that I'd worked with, and it's something that had beaten into my head for years, and just through practice it came out. When it came out, I said, wow, that's really freaking cool. And that's the whole basics. I mean, you know, we can go on and talk about how practice is important.
It doesn't even have to be scripts, though. Like, how fast can you write a contract? How about the practice on writing a contract out? How fast can you do the whole thing from start to finish with the client? Maybe that makes them feel pretty comfortable at the negotiating table to present an offer that you have that contract done, ready to go, and it's all filled out in front of them. Boom, next.
So what you're saying is it's not only
the script.
It's not only what you say, it's what you do as well.
You know, I come from a mixed martial arts background. You have the same type, or boxing, or let's say even baseball. A curveball comes in, you're talking about Derek Jeter. If he can't hit the curveball, he's going to practice the curveball. If you're getting the same objection on the phone that says, we're going to sell it by ourselves, well, let's think of an objection. It doesn't have to be from a coach. Make your own objection. You're using one anyway. That's the script you're using.
Right.
Let's figure out what works and slow the process down, because we're doing a lot of go. We got to analyze a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%. First of all, I want to thank you so much for coming on with me. But I want to hit one thing that you did with what you were talking about. You're talking about something, I call it ritual. You're talking about when you get up in the morning, what you do. When you go home at night, what you do. If that's what you do, you're actually practicing that every time you do it. And I always talk about that in your ritual, your morning ritual. To me, my morning ritual is extremely important to me, and I try not to let anything get in the way, even when I'm away on vacation, so to speak, you know? So when I start the day a certain way, I have a few minutes of silence, I write some affirmations down, I write down what I'm grateful for. And you know what? It's just like practice. What you appreciate appreciates. And the important part of that is that's also practice. And it gets you in such a great way to keep going. And you know what? When you practice, things become habits. A great book that you should read is any book on habits. It'll teach you on how you grow habits and how you build habits. Practicing is a habit you should have. In my opinion, you know, a real estate agent's day should start with their home ritual, and then when they go to the office or not, they need someone to have a practice partner. Now, I know you've had practice partners, and they haven't all been in the same state. Is that correct?
Yeah, all around the world.
Right. So you have people you call and you practice scripts on over and over again. And you know what? That's a great way to go because, you know, in our business, we go places, we meet other real estate agents from other places, and they all want to succeed. You know, if you go someplace and you meet someone they want to succeed, the best way to find out if they really do want to succeed is say, hey, let's get on the phone every morning for 20 minutes and practice. You'll know if they do. Mike, thanks so much for coming on with me in the second episode of Real Estate Talk TGIF. Thank God it's finale. And we'll see you again. This week we're live in Edgewater on location. Next week we're going to be live on location in San Francisco, California at the Inman Connect Conference. We'll be on between 12 and 1 Eastern Time. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.
Let's go Yankees!